Joining us now, Democratic Congresswoman from North Carolina, Deborah Ross. Congresswoman Ross, thanks for being with us this morning. Let's just start the broadest terms from 30,000 feet. What is your response to the leaked draft opinion that my colleagues at Politico published earlier this week?
Well, this is sending shockwaves throughout the country. It's not unexpected, but the leaked opinion makes it real. And people see not just what's been going on in Texas, what's been going on in Oklahoma, not just in this case, but how this can affect them every single day. And we're going to have a situation where women in one part of the country will have absolutely no reproductive freedom and will have to travel to other parts of the country to get that freedom. Simply unacceptable. We cannot go back.
What is the latest there in North Carolina? I know that Governor Roy has vetoed several abortion bills, and with the midterms approaching and Republicans in the state only needing to flip a handful of seats, is there a risk of abortion being banned there?
Of course there's a risk. When Governor Cooper first took office, there was a Republican majority, a supermajority that could override his vetoes. We've only recently been able to withstand any attempt to override his veto in our legislature. I was a state legislator for more than 10 years and saw this veto override situation go on. We have got to keep enough members of the House and Senate to sustain a veto and even take back the chamber. And these kinds of issues are the issues that will drive voters to the polls. They drove voters to the polls in 2018. Women are excited to get out and tell the government that take your hands off my body. Just take your hands off my body.
Yeah, and Governor Cooper certainly hasn't indicated that yet. So let's talk a little further. I mean, obviously, this is a personal and societal issue, but of course it is a political one. Both parties have suggested this could be a real animating force for the midterms this November. What has the early response been in your district or among volunteers for your campaign? What sort of reaction have you gotten since this draft opinion was published the other night?
Well, people are fired up and ready to go. We've already had protests in the streets. I've gotten texts about women taking out their pink hats again. People are ready to go vote. And we're in the middle of primary voting in North Carolina. We're in the early voting period. So people have an ability to go to the ballot box today and register their opinions about the people who are on the ballot. We have a bunch of contested Democratic primaries and Republican primaries. So people can have voices heard immediately. I'm going to vote today.
So we know that there's been abortion rights protection legislation has passed the House. No such luck in the Senate. The Senate Majority Leader Schumer has said he's going to call for a vote. So I want you to weigh in, if you will, on to what your colleagues in the Senate could do. The math seems to be working against them. And also, what more would you like to hear from President Biden on this issue?
Well, as we know, any legislation in the Senate is subject to the filibuster, so we need 10 Republicans. We have seen understandable and justifiable outrage from Susan Collins, pro-choice Republican senator, who believed some of these justices when she voted to confirm them. We're hoping that that outrage will reach more of the Republicans. There are pro-choice Republicans out there, and we're hoping that this bill that has passed the House resoundingly will pass in the Senate. But if it doesn't happen, it is important that the voters know where their senators stand. Again, we're about to have the midterms. And Joe Biden has been very clear. We have got to protect women's reproductive freedom and the right to privacy. There have been many commentators that say that this decision, as horrible as it is, could be a slippery slope to taking away more rights from our people.
Congresswoman Deborah Ross, we really appreciate you being with us here this morning. We will speak to you again soon. Thank you again.